Me personally, I'll show you a combo I kind of made up that's almost a 0 to death. Alright guys, it's here. The official comprehensive Finn guide. This is a video that basically breaks down some of the biggest things that are important to note on Finn. I did make a Finn guide a long time ago, but I feel like I've gotten much better at the game since then. And I do consider my Finn to definitely be in the top percentile of the game right now. Now, just to give some credibility to people who want to see that, I'm currently 1876 on the ladder, rank 176 on Finn. I do still need to grind out this game a little bit more. I probably could hit 2000 or 2100. I just really need to play a little bit more Finn. It's just Stripe has been definitely catching a lot of my attention recently. So I've been meaning to make this guide for a while, but I've been playing a lot of Stripe. So, you know, definitely expect a more comprehensive Stripe guide soon too. But anyway, back to Finn. So I'm going to be making this video. I'm going to try to make this video in a way so that it'll last for several months to come. So this will be one of the pretty much, if not the best guide to see for Finn. So if you guys want more stuff like this, more informative content, make sure you check out my ranked videos where I try to explain a lot more about, my decision making and why I do the things I do. And again, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you drop a sub. Only a small percentage of people are actually subscribed, so I'd appreciate if you could go support me by real quick dropping one. So we're going to organize this in several different ways. I'm going to start with neutral because genuinely I just don't think enough people talk about this and how to play Finn neutral. And I feel like people play Finn neutral in many different ways. I'm going to be talking about what moves you should be throwing out, what disjoints help you get prepared for combos, and overall just how to play. The first thing you understand about Finn's neutral is that all of his moves charge by moving. If you look at the bar under his dodge meter, every single time I'm moving around while I'm holding one of his attacks, it's charging my attack. Now, there's many things that each of these attacks do while you charge them. This one will make you jump up super high. This one has a really disjointed hitbox and hits really far away. And ultimately, the Finn cheese is this move, which does a shit ton whenever you hit it, and also can help spike people off the map. So, how do you play neutral with these moves, and as well as his other moves? Well, you gotta understand his hitboxes. He has a lot of disjoints, and there's a lot of different ways you can create pressure. One of my favorite ways to do this is I like throwing out forward airs, or down airs. Also is a good way to do this. You want to roll cancel into some of his aerials. When you're playing against people with really low end lag, like Batman, like Wonder Woman, etc., you want to be throwing out a lot of your disjoints. And you want to be prepared to beat them in the priority battle. So the best way to do this is just to go for down airs, go for double fairs, try to find nairs as well whenever they hit you. And so just basically run around and use your lowest frame like moves and that are hard like to punish. And then also whenever you get them in the air, so let's say I hit them with an up strong. You want to just use your combo practice to just get as much value out of those hits as possible. And you'll notice that you won't want to just go for forward air and down air and nair and neutral. You also want to go for some charge moves. Like sometimes you'll want to approach with this, or sometimes you'll want to approach with this move. You know what I mean? So just try to mix up some of your options, and remember that your up strong is going to be one of your best friends in terms of like playing neutral, because it starts combos and also has a pretty good hitbox. Another thing, whenever you're playing neutral, don't forget how important it is to dash dance. I mean, you charge your high five by doing this, so you can throw your high five out more often. It also just creates a lot more unpredictability about your movement, especially if you have speed boots, which also is another part of neutral. If you're playing neutral, you always want to make sure that you get as many coins as you possibly can so that you can buy your first iteration of speed boots. And yeah, that segues me into my second topic, which is how to use his shop. Okay, so this is something a lot of people don't really talk about in terms of Finn guides, is how to use his coins in the shop. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So the first thing you want to do is, as soon as you hit 500 coins and you're given some space to, breathe, make sure you buy your boots. Basically, speed boots that work this way. You get 10% speed, and then I believe 5%, quote me on that if I'm wrong, and then 3%. So basically, buying second and third speed boots are kind of pointless, because you might as well just use gem instead, which I'll also talk about. So, I don't know. I feel like, personally, it's definitely the best to just buy the first speed boots and nothing really else. Just to discuss everything else, projectile buns can be really good against, like, for example, characters like Stripe, or Morty, or stuff like that, where people are reliant on these projectiles to catch you lacking. Beam-up chop is pretty useless in my opinion, especially in ones. It's just costs so much for such a little return. This is really one of those moves that you only really use if you're trolling or trying to get a cool kill on someone. All right, now how does his backpack all correlate with this? If you didn't know this about Finn, whenever his backpack has more coins, it does more knockback and more damage, and then spreads all your coins out after hitting them. So let's say I ladder combo somebody all the way up the map, right? And like, let's say I can get them all the way up to the top of the stage, right? And I'd land that backpack there, right? If I have 100 coins, it's probably going to do as much knockback as like an up air at like 20%. So it's not going to really do much knockback. So whenever you're going for a backpack as a finisher and are trying to kill with it, make sure you keep track of your coins, because it's a great finisher and it has really nice frame data. But it is ultimately going to be really unfortunate if you could have just up aired or side special instead and didn't kill because you backpacked. This also segues into his gem move, which is probably one of the best moves in the game. In fact, as a Finn player and not a Finn down player, I will tell you that this is probably top 5 moves in 1v1s. This move is absolutely crazy. I have noticed that out of this move, you can pretty much just ignore the fact that you're ever in disadvantaged state, which I'll discuss later. This move itself, it just makes this character so much more than an assassin and gives him so much power and like just so much like versatility with movement that you want to be making sure you know how to use this move. I do have a guide on how to use it, but I'll just basically describe how to use it in very simple terms. Down special and press the grab button. So make sure you set a grab button because that will make you be able to grab it much easier. Personally, I down special into right bumper, which really helps my ability to grab gem. So highly recommend using one of your bumper buttons as a grab. All right, let's talk about advantage and disadvantage state. So in advantage state, whenever you're playing Finn, let's say you knock somebody away or off stage, right? You want to be just keeping them in the air in any way possible. So as soon as I get a hit on this Shaggy that gives me a wide opening, I want to learn how to make as much value out of this damage as humanly possible. So you want to be able to have a really strong disadvantage state and like find openings off people being hit and being in hit stun, right? So basically, my best way to do this is just to sit in the lab and just practice your like combos on people. Like, learn your own freestyle combos, learn how to be unique with what you're doing, and also don't stop pressure. If someone's off stage, why do you want to just sit here and do nothing? You're an assassin. You know what I mean? A lot of the time against certain matchups, you want to be sitting there just making sure that you're pressuring them as much as possible. Because if you're not getting the most value out of your character. Another slept on thing to do whenever you get advantage state is to just hit them and then just chase them with gem, right? So you can easily just hit somebody and then, you know, chase them with whatever gem comes out, whether you have on the house or you just spawn the gem yourself. It's a great way to mix up instead of just chasing after and going for a backpack or a side special, right? All right, disadvantage state is also really easy for Finn. In fact, I argue he barely even has one. Whenever you're in disadvantage, all you really want to do is just throw your gem back to where you want to be. Or you can even throw it at your opponent in order to oppress them if you think they're not going to expect it. You also have a lot of ways to recover. You can use some of your aerials to stall. So whenever you're in disadvantage state, don't forget about how important this can be to help out your overall gameplay. Is to use your aerials to stall and also use either your apples or your gems to create pressure and also to recover to a safe spot in the map. All right, you guys asked for it. I'll talk about my combos. Okay, so one of my best like features about my Finn is definitely my combo skills. I practiced his combos so much, and that's why I think I get so much damage on people whenever I touch them, is because I waste all of their resources and keep them suspended in the air in a way where they can't really respond. Like, don't get me wrong, lab opponents aren't a great way to test it because, you know, obviously they can DI, they can probably dodge out, whatever. But there is a lot of insane ass combos you can find by just practicing in the lab, right? One of the most insane combos I ever found was fully charged up strong, up air, side special, and then nair. You can either do nair, forward air, up air again, or go from there. Basically, the combo starter starts with fully charged up strong, up air, and then side special, right? This is only working if you have on the house, by the way. So start from there and just see where you can take it. Me personally, I'll show you a combo I kind of made up that's almost a 0 to death. So often that will kill on lighter opponents, but it's not very true. But like, there's a lot of stuff you can find by just practicing, and based off dodge timings or DI, or if the opponent's ever played against, you know, a Finn that does similar combos, you probably can get kills out of it plenty of times. Like, I have gotten so many clips on people doing stuff that you think wouldn't be true based off what happens in the lab, but actually are pretty insane in the real game. Just keep this in mind, guys. All of your Finn combos probably aren't going to be true. They're all really going to be based off how good somebody is at dodging what you do, how well somebody can deal with the lunge move in the air, as well as just how much experience you have as Finn. So all factors that are going to affect how much you can get out of your combos. This section, I'm basically just going to be showing tricks on... I'm basically just going to be showing a few compilations of combos I managed to land on Finn, and overall how much value. I'm just going to kind of be showing you combos I can land in the lab and also in the real game that give you a lot of value on Finn that you can maybe try or practice on your own, that I overall have just seen so much success using. Alright, I'm going to incorporate another part of this video and talk about Shoulder Bash. Shoulder Bash is honestly one of the best moves in the game as well. This move is just absolutely nuts. It's so good, it's not even funny. So, I'm going to be showing you some tricks you can use with Shoulder Bash to get more value. And, yeah. So, first of all, you can jab 1, jab 2 into Shoulder Bash, and then you can chase them with a double forward air or nair or whatever you want to do. That's one of the best ways to get an advantage state, is using this combo. Despite how bad jab can actually be, you know, overall, if you can use Shoulder Bash as a part of your combo, then you can just chase people off stage and just use your options to 50-50 them. It's just overall a great way to get an advantage state. But as you can see, Shoulder Bash is one of the best moves in the game. A lot of people tell me that zoners counter Finn, and this is where I hardcore disagree, because you really need to practice Shoulder Bash. After I played against Retro Wolf, like, Shoulder Bashing has become a lot more second nature to me, and I can kind of just get, like, have a projectile thrown at me and just instantly think to just boom, side special. So definitely practice against some of your friends if you know that they main a zoner, like Rain Dog or maybe even Tom and Jerry or something like that. Just practice against someone who you can use Shoulder Bash against, and I promise you, your like muscle memory will become insane with it. As a warning, though, you cannot side special like LeBron's ball, so do not try to do it. It won't work. Sometimes you'll get hit by it, sometimes you won't. It's extremely weird, and it just doesn't work right. Alright, the final thing I'm going to discuss with this character is how do you cheese on this character? Everybody knows that there's just some cheese that Finns have access to that other characters don't have anything they can compare to. Now, the main thing with Finn is you need to understand how to space his down strong, right? Because the problem with down strong is that sometimes the hitbox is wonky as hell. Like, sometimes you will, like, just straight up have your move phase through them. I'm trying to show an example of it, but I can't have it happen. But you guys know what I'm talking about. This move will just casually phase through people sometimes. So you have to know how to space it, and you have to be patient with it, because sometimes it won't work. Sometimes you'll be on the edge, and then they'll dodge it somehow, even though they didn't dodge it. But the way to cheese with down special is to use your jab with it. Jab is a great combo tool with down strong, because overall it just like flows together really well. And I'm pretty sure it's true if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Jab, jab, down strong is actually true. I'm pretty sure you can DI out of it maybe, but overall, this is just one of the most insane combos for controlling ledge. Not to mention he has one of the best downers in the game, so after you land one of these, don't forget you can just instantly chase them with another down air, right? It's one of the best ways to just get insanely early kills and cheese your way to victory. So definitely practice using his down attack, because it's insane. All right, that's pretty much all I'm going to say for the guide today, guys. Make sure you read the comments, because I guarantee you there's some people in the comments who have some really nice tips they can share. So anybody who has also some experience on Finn and has some tips they want to share with somebody and tips they want to share with people, just put them in the comments below. I'm sure it'll help out a lot of people down there. Let's just talk about his perks real quick. First of all, signature perk on the house. That's pretty much a no-brainer. Insanely good perk, and is really helpful for landing ladder combos. All right, so I personally really like Taz Trig because it really helps you be able to escape a lot of bad matchups. Like Harley, for example, can combo the hell out of you and outvalue you. But if you're running Tasmanian Trigonometry, you can get out of her move earlier with, better knockback influence. And I have a DI guide out right now, so if you want to watch how to get better at DI, then definitely check that out. So I highly recommend Tasmanian, but if you want more speed or something else that kind of helps you in that same way, definitely recommend running either Speed Force Assist or Hit Me If You're Able, or one of these perks that just overall helps you with your mobility. Aerial Acceleration can also be really nice. So definitely recommend one of these utility perks if you really don't want to use Tasmanian. Triple Jump is an absolute no-brainer for this character. I don't think this is optional. I think you have to run Triple Jump. This is what I like to call my fill perk. I use this slot as anything for a certain matchup that may help me. For example, if I'm against a Batman, I'm going to run Clear the Air. If I'm against a projectile spammy character like Rain Dog, I'm going to run School Me Once. If I'm against a Superman or a Wonder Woman, there's sometimes I'll run Armor Crush. If I'm against a fast character and I know I'm going to be using a lot of gems, I'll probably use Ice to beat you. If I'm against a Morty or a character who's relying on downers to kill, I'll use Toon Elasticity as well. And sometimes I'll replace that with my Tasmanian Trigonometry. Overall, for certain matchups where I don't need any sort of counter pick perk, I'll just run Slippery Customer because it's an insanely good perk. You get 10% longer dodge and invulnerability windows, which basically means you can dodge past people a lot easier and also just be a lot more, invincible during your dodge frames. Overall, though, I think that's the end of my recommendations for Finn. I do probably plan on leaving some extra tips I might have forgot in the comments below, so make sure you check those out. But if this really helped you, please make sure you check out my other Finn videos, as well as dropping a sub. That would really help out my channel, and it would just overall be a great way to improve your Finn gameplay and even just your Multiversus gameplay in general. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for coming by today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.